2017 at 5 p.m. Please stand for the, I'm sorry. Roll call first.
Councilmember Williams.
Here.
Councilmember Blamanto.
Here.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Here.
Councilmember Shikawa.
Here.
Councilmember at-large Wash.
Present. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance to the flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Since it is a workshop, we'll skip over number 2, certification of the prior meetings. Number 3, reading of the floor regulations. Number 4, privilege of the floor. We'll move on to number 5, communications from the mayor, including disapproval messages. Anything you'd like to share? Nothing? Thank you, sir. Number 6, communications from the public and petitions.
Number 1, request from Chautauqua Area Regional Transit System CARTS to use the Senior Center on July 21st, 2017 to hold an open house in celebration of their 40th anniversary as Chautauqua County's public transportation carriers.
Jim, can you close the door? Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Any discussion? Seeing none, I would make my usual motion. Councilman Williams with the first. We'll need a second. Second, Mr. Belmonto. Number 2.
Request from the Dunkirk School District for 2 police officers for supervision of the high school football games from 7 to 10 p.m. on September 15th, September 22nd, and October 6th, 2017, and 3 police officers for supervision of the October 13th, 2017 game versus Fredonia. Also requesting 2 police officers for supervision of 2 of the high school home basketball games from 6 p.m. until 9 p.m. on December 22nd, 2017, and January 26th, 2018.
Any discussion, council? I would make a motion to refer this to the DPD. Councilman Gonzalez with the first, Councilman Belmonto with the second. Number 3.
Number 3, loudspeaker application from Henry Hooten Sr. to have a band on July 3rd, 2017 at 212 Webster Street from 7 p.m. till 9 p.m.
Any discussion?
I got it first. I'll second.
I will make my usual motion. Councilman Belmonto with the second, or I'm sorry, with the first, Councilman Williams with the second. Number 4.
Notice of claim for Andrew Chmura alleging damages to his vehicle due to a pothole while driving near 238 Willow Road.
I will make a motion to refer this to the law department. Need a first. Councilwoman Shikawa, second, Councilman Williams. Number 5.
Summons and verified complaint from Kimberly J. Kane for personal injuries allegedly sustained as a result of a fall on May 31st, 2016 in front of 328 Central Avenue.
I'll make a motion to refer this to the law department. Need a first. Councilwoman Shikawa, second, Councilman Williams. Reports of standing committees, boards, and commissions. Any council person have anything they'd like to share during the workshop? Any department head or city employee have anything they'd like to share during the workshop? Seeing none, moving on to number 8, unfinished business.
32, intro number 3 to local law number 3-2017, City of Dunkirk, New York, a local law to amend chapter 49, section 49-4C of the city code, Dunkirk City Code.
I would need a motion to take this off the table. Do I have a motion? Gonzalez, do I have a second? Williams, I will call roll at that time. Following roll call to take it off the table, assuming it passes, we will then have a discussion. Is there any discussion council would like to have on this right now?
It's my understanding this is just to prohibit alcohol in the dugouts and the playing field, so there would still be alcohol permitted outside, like in the bleacher seating area around the field?
It is the understanding, yes.
Okay.
Outside the fence area for non-players.
Non-players.
Okay.
Councilman,
Yes.
this came up at our last public safety annual. There was a discussion that there was some issues last year in consuming alcohol in the dugouts and on the field, which is something we don't want happening. It led to other issues, so this will hopefully curb that and give us the law enforcement tools to charge them if they are on the field in the dugout.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion? At that time, I'll call roll call. Moving on to unfinished business number 39.
Intro number 4 to local law number 4-2017, City of Dunkirk, New York, a local law to amend Article 7, Section 7.00 of the Dunkirk City Charter.
I would need a motion to take this off the table. Do I have a motion to take this off the table? Councilman Gonzalez with the motion to take it off the table. Do I have a second to take it off the table? Councilman Bamanto. Assuming roll call passes, we would then have a discussion. Is there any discussion by council on this particular law change?
Do you have a question?
Mayor, there's one section in 39 that states that it's taking the council authorization away, leaving that to the mayor and DPW director for staffing.
39 is which one?
Deleting Department of Public Works, putting them all together for municipal worker. But I just had a question on, is it 39, I think, taking the council authorization away, leaving it to mayor and DPW.
Where does it say that?
Maybe it was number 40 I was looking at. Keep going.
In the original, it states that there will be certain divisions and such other divisions as the common council may authorize. The amendment changes the number of divisions and the names and allows the mayor and director to establish other divisions as they see fit.
Okay. So we won't be getting any, discussion on hiring practices or in the future, like, I know some of the council members wanted to make sure.
You'll lose no authority that you have now.
Okay. Thank you.
Any further discussion on number 39? Seeing none, at that time I would call roll call. Number 40.
Intro number 5 to local law number 5-2017, City of Dunkirk, New York, a local law to amend Chapter 2, Article 7, Sections 2-7.02, 2-7.04, 2-7.05, 2-7.07, and 2-7.09 of the City of Dunkirk City Code.
I need a motion to take this off the table. I need a first.
First.
Gonzalez, need a second. Bamanto. Assuming it passes roll call, we would then have a discussion. Open for discussion. Mr. Williams?
Just again, I wanna ask that the intent of this, when passed, or not if it's passed, the intent is not to eliminate any employees, it's just to, you're gonna evaluate, meet with the employees, the unions, and discuss anything that you can with changing it to make it a little bit more, efficient, whatever the word is that you wanna use for it there, and that nobody, bottom line question, I guess, is nobody's gonna lose their job over this. They may serve the city in a different capacity, possibly by the end of it, but they're not gonna lose a job and lose city employment.
So, and we've had much discussion on this, so I just want to make it clear, once again, that the intent here is not to take away any jobs. The intent here is to ensure that the city is functioning in the most efficient manner. The way we're functioning now, in my opinion, and in the opinion of others, is not the most efficient way. We have identified some positions that are no longer needed, whereas we can move these people to other positions, but because of the way the charter is written, we cannot. So this will allow me to go ahead and make some moves in my restructuring plan. However, I need to add that if and when the time comes that these positions are addressed and people are asked if they will take other positions, and they decline that offer, then and only then will that time come where they may be without a job. So
Okay.
the decision ultimately will be theirs and not mine forced upon them.
Okay.
Would there be any reduction in pay if these jobs were to change?
That is not the plan.
Okay, so what they're making now, if roles were to change, that would still be the salary of the given employee?
The salary of the employee, if they're asked to do something else, will probably stay
this should pass tonight, tomorrow morning, are there certain people that will not know where they're, are you going to have a meeting with all DPW tomorrow morning to break ground and discuss these things, or will we continue to operate as they have been until you're ready to make those changes?
So this is all part of a restructuring plan. This is but one element in that restructuring plan. So tomorrow morning, everybody's going to get up, hopefully, and go to work like they normally do. At some point here in the future, hopefully in the near future, I will be sitting down with council to explain what the plan is. And then I will be sitting down with our workers and different unions involved and explain to them what we're doing, how we're doing it, and why we're doing it. Feedback from them will dictate how we continue to move forward. So they will have some influence in the restructuring process.
Okay. My last question is, let's just say the DPW director's on vacation or away for a while. If you're eliminating certain positions, who will be in charge of DPW on any given day if he's not here?
None of that process will change. This restructuring will not change that process in any way, shape, or form. We're gonna continue, to answer your question, everything that we currently do when he's not here is what we will continue to do.
Okay. Thank you.
Any further discussion concerning number 40? Seeing none at that time, I would call for roll call. Number 48.
Creating the position of Spanish-speaking firefighter.
Need a motion to take this off the table. Councilman Gonzalez, need a second to take it off the table. Councilman Vermonto. At that time, assuming it would pass roll call to take it off the table, there would be a discussion, council discussion.
I'll be making a motion to go into executive session, actually probably at the beginning of the meeting, because there's a couple other things we need to discuss as a group. So we'll be in there for more than one thing, so there will be department heads and individuals in and out here while everyone's in there.
Any discussion about number 48? Councilman Williams.
Just to clarify, this isn't adding to the minimum staffing. This is just to put somebody in.
This is part of the executive session discussion because it is adding a 25th position.
We're not adding a position.
That's why we need to discuss this, because the intent of what you did is not what has transpired over the last 2 weeks.
The next position, okay?
But that's not what
We'll
happened.
discuss that.
That's not what we're voting on tonight. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
We will.
I think we were all on the same page when it was working together as a group to fill the 24th position.
Yes.
But what has transpired between the last meeting and personnel calling Mayville is creating the 25th position.
That's, I don't think that's the way.
Let's go on executive.
We'll discuss
Talk about
it.
it.
So yes, it is.
That'll be one of the things that we'll be discussing during executive session, and as Ms. Shikawa said, there are multiple things that we will be discussing during that executive session, so different employees will be coming and going during the executive session.
My other question, I guess, may also go to executive session, so stop me if I need to stop for that. But also, I needed to clarify that this is just creating a Spanish-speaking firefighter position. It's not, we're not waiving any other minimum qualifications that the city may have for the employees. So if this passes and it goes in there, then if there's criteria that the city has for hiring a firefighter, that would be the same criteria for hiring a Spanish-speaking firefighter. And if there's people on a Spanish-speaking list that don't meet that criteria, then we'd have to go with the other list. Go with the city list, not the Spanish-speaking. I don't know that we can wait till then with the contractually we need to fill it, and if there's nobody with minimum qualifications.
That's something else that we can discuss
Right.
during executive session as well. Any further discussion just about that we can have in public? Seeing none, we'll move on to number 9, pre-file resolutions, number 49.
Resolution, reschedule, council meeting.
You guys can't make it to the.
No.
Whatever. for
There
me.
is a typo in the resolution number 49. The council meeting will be rescheduled not to Monday, July 3rd.
Tuesday the 11th.
Tuesday the 11th.
Tuesday, July 11th. Any further discussion on that? Number 50.
Authorizing mayor to execute ground lease with Erie Land Development LLC for hotel.
Any discussion? Councilman Williams.
Do we need to table this at all for a public hearing?
This is.
It's not required to be tabled.
Not through that general municipal law or anything? We don't need to do it if we're leasing city property?
We can discuss
We're gonna be
that.
discussing this in executive session.
All right.
Number 51.
Authorizing grant application, NYSC ERHP, I think there's an O in there, Environmental Protection Fund Grants Program.
Any discussion, council? Seeing none, number 52.
Authorizing grant application to fund economic impact analysis of North County harbors.
Any discussion? Number 53.
Authorizing grant application, NYDEC Water Quality Improvement Projects Fund Grants Program.
Any discussion, council? Number 54.
Authorizing grant application, NYSOCR Main Street Program.
Any discussion? Number 55.
Authorizing grant application, Market New York Program.
Any discussion? Number 56.
This name is wrong.
There's a typo on number 56 as well.
Jason.
Read your thing. Authorizing lease agreement with Bob Salerno, it says here. It's
There is
Robert
a typo.
Jason.
It should not say Bob Salerno. It should say Robert Jaisman. And we will move forward with that as a corrected typo as well. Number 57.
Authorizing agreement for consultant services for City of Dunkirk Residential Housing Survey.
Any discussion? Number 58.
Accepting contract for backwash water storage tank and pump replacement phase 3 under 2009 consent order.
Number 50, or I'm sorry, any discussion? Number 59.
Authorizing mayor to execute easement for NCWD.
Any discussion, council? Motion to adjourn workshop.
So moved.
Councilwoman Chikawa, second Councilman Gonzalez. Workshop is adjourned. We have some public hearings we have to do immediately in the courtroom.
Oh, thank you. I'll probably let you get it out of here.
Is that you?
Oh, I might have flipped it over that way, yeah. nicest way to say it, I think. I was picking up when you were laying down.
Normally it would be just monthly. Everybody's. Yeah, by phone it's done. Notice of public hearing. Please take notice that a regular meeting of the City of Dunkirk Common Council held on June 6, 2017, resolution number 32-2017, was presented to the Common Council, which resolution is entitled Intro Number 3 to Local Law Number 3-2017, City of Dunkirk, New York, a local law to amend Chapter 49, Section 49-4C of the Dunkirk City Code. Please take further notice that a public hearing will be held on resolution number 32-2017 on June 20th, 2017 at 5:20 p.m. in the Common Council chambers to hear any and all interested persons. At this point in time, notice of public hearing concerning this local law change only is now open to the public. If you have anything that you would like to say about this particular law change, please step forward to the podium and microphone and state your name and address. Last chance. Anybody wishing to speak specifically to this local law change during this public hearing, please step forward to the podium and state your name and address. This public hearing is closed. Notice of public hearing. Please take notice that at a regular meeting of the City of Dunkirk Common Council held on June 6, 2017, resolution number 39-2017 was presented to the Common Council, which resolution is entitled Intro Number 4 to Local Law Number 4-2017, City of Dunkirk, New York, a local law to amend Article Section 7 of the Dunkirk City Charter. Please take further notice that a public hearing will be held on resolution number 39-2017 on June 20th, 2017 at 5:25 p.m. in the Common Council chambers to hear any and all interested persons. At this point in time, the public hearing for this particular local law change is now open. If anybody wishes to speak specifically to this law change, please step forward to the podium and state your name and address. Last chance. If anybody wishes to speak about this particular local law change, please step forward to the podium, state your name and address.
Charter change, is that for the public works? Is that for the one you guys were just speaking of when I came to light?
Correct. That's resolution number 39 dealing with the Public Works amendment.
Okay, I do have a question for the mayor and the council. My question is, I don't understand this because once you start changing the charter, and you know what a big deal that is. And I know what a big deal is when you start messing with the charter. But I want to know who this affects personally. Who does this affect? And what changes would be made? The changes.
Mayor?
Hey, can I have names? Or is this 912? Is this 2693? Is this management?
So, Mr. Ramsey, to answer your question, since I've taken office, one of the big things that we've been looking at is restructuring. The purpose of restructuring is to
function in a more efficient manner. In most municipalities, there is a charter revision scheduled for every, say, 10 years. In the city of Dunkirk, that's not happening. There is reason to change the charter from time to time. What benefits the city today may not be the case in 20 years. The charter has not been changed in 20 years. So there is a reason to go back. To answer your question, this will affect certain members in our mid-level management.
Can I have the names?
I've been instructed that I'm not at liberty to give you the names of people. However, our
They're listed by
mid-level-
title in the actual
Okay.
resolution. It's listed by title.
Is there quite a few, or is it just?
By department. It's listed by department title.
There's a few positions. I've identified, our team has identified a couple of positions that are no longer needed. And so the goal here is not to eliminate jobs, but to move these titles and these positions into a way where the city can actually benefit from it.
Okay, so the next question is that, I know you've been contacted by New York State with the control board. Have you ever received anything to recommend this for you guys to change the charter? Or don't you think you should wait until you get the recommendation from the New York State control board before you make a decision like this?
No, the answer to the question is no, I don't believe we should wait. I believe the city has waited too long, and that has caused major issues that I'm having to deal with now as the chief executive officer. So the Financial Restructuring Board, I'm glad you mentioned that. It's an update that I had to comment to the council members. I made contact with Tim Ryan of Division of Budget, and they are a little bit behind. So he's hoping to be here before the end of this month, but I don't know that that's going to happen. Either way, to answer your question, the restructuring that we're talking about here is in the best interest of the city.
Okay, I'll just leave it at this. It sounds bad. It's a bad idea. This is personally me speaking. And it sounds like a personal vendetta against a couple people. And I think that's the wrong avenue to go to. I think you guys should really sit on this and think about it. Because I think that down the road, you're gonna have legal implications on this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vandenboer. Anybody else wishing to speak specifically? Please state your name and address.
Steve Zatorsky, 36 Perry Street, multiple taxpayer of the city of Dunkirk. I'm a former laborer of Labor International's Local 210. I was a steward there. I've spent the last 15 years serving our taxpayers with the city of Dunkirk, and I also serve as the chief steward of Local 912, City of Dunkirk. I think we all know that it's management. There's a couple management positions that we are talking about abolishing tonight, and being a 15-year insider, my personal opinion is you can't run efficiently without them. These are the people that schedule, that order, that inventory, that troubleshoot, that do the public relations, that take the phone calls while we're out there doing what we're supposed to be doing for the taxpayers. Where the savings comes, I have no idea. If there is a savings, I can't assume it's a big one. This is just a bad idea, again, for me personally. I'm not representing Local 912, I'm representing Steve Zatorsky. As a union man, again, I've offered this before and I'll offer it again. I think our board would be willing to sit down and figure out how we can make this right. All you have to do is call. But at the same time, I'm pro-labor, and if you are too, this is something that you probably shouldn't be voting for, because I would not. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zatorsky. Anybody else wishing to speak? Please step forward, state your name and address. Last chance for Resolution 39. Anybody else wishing to speak? Please step forward and state your name and address. That public hearing is closed. Notice of public hearing. Please take notice that a regular meeting of the City of Dunkirk Common Council held on June 6, 2017, Resolution number 40-2017 was presented to the Common Council, which resolution is entitled, Intro number 5 to local law number 5-2017, City of Dunkirk, New York, a local law to amend Chapter 2, Article Sections 2-7.02, 2-7.04, 2-7.05, 2-7.07, and 2-7.09 of the Dunkirk City Code. Please take further notice that a public hearing will be held on Resolution number 40-2017 on June 20th, 2017 at 5:26 p.m. in the Common Council Chambers to hear any and all interested parties. Anybody wishing to speak specific to this local law change, please stand and state your name and address.
Russell Tennemore, 243 Lord Street, Dunkirk. I'm representing chairman of local Steelworkers 2693. My question and concern to the council is, how do you as council plan on voting on a charter change without seeing the mayor's plan and or city's plan? Do you as council know if civil service laws or anything else are being violated? Has anybody checked? As of 6/19, civil service has not been notified of any civil service jobs that are going to be deleted whatsoever. No changes from the city has been submitted to civil service for this restructured plan. And in your proposal here, my job is one of them going to be deleted out of the charter. My title is being deleted from the city charter after 27 years of service to the city. What happens to me, a competitive class employee? Do I have a job? When you as council pass the mayor's plan, what happens to the Parks Department? If this change is so important to the mayor and the city of Dunkirk, why is it such a secret? No talks with any unions have been done. No talks combined unions, no talks individual unions, and no talks to the civil service. What needs to be a lot of changes done before this could happen. I ask you, before you people vote, to look at what you're voting for before you vote.
Thank you, Mr. Tennemore. Anybody else wishing to speak? Please step forward and state your name and address.
Mike Rapilia, 326 Dove Street, Dunkirk. I believe in change. I believe in good change. I believe that in order to make good change, you need to know what you're changing. I find nothing but confusion here when I look at this, and I've read this several times. I've reported to work for over 25 years for the city of Dunkirk. I've seen a lot of good, I've seen a lot of bad. Are there a lot of things I'd like to change? Absolutely. Would I like to be privileged to that change? Yes, even so, because I'm all for the better for the city. Not necessarily for myself, but for the people that live here. I asked Mayor, you said you had a team. Can you tell me who your team is?
Mr. Chairman,
It's not a moment in time for question and answer period.
Not a question and answer period, okay. So, I guess we sit back in wonderment about what's being voted on, I guess. Not knowing. Does the council know the changes that are to be made? I have no idea. Are there cost savings involved? I guess I can't answer that question either. And that, I've seen a lot, like I said, I've seen a lot. I've worked with these people side by side every day. And I believe there should be change made, change in the right places. But I know what the wrong changes can be more detrimental when a person thinks he's doing good. I've seen a lot of bad come from it, just from lack of knowledge. You're looking at hundreds of years of experience combined with your mid-level management. Does it go out the door? Something to think about. Every day I address different questions. There's always something different in my job. I never know what to expect when I walk through the door. No matter what, it could be something simple, it could be something large, it could be a personnel issue, it could be something major, it could be a major incident. I think that the way this is developed, I'm sure, I don't know if it was developed with what intent, but from what I know, which is nothing about this, it leaves me feeling very uneasy about everything. And I don't see any good coming from this right now. And I think people have a right to know what's going on, especially before you vote on this. We need change, we need positive change, not confused change. We need to move forward, not take 10 steps back. And that's what could happen here. Thank you for your time, appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Parpilia. Anybody else wishing to speak on this specific local law change? Please step forward and state your name and address. Last opportunity. Anybody else wishing to speak on this local law change? Please step forward and state your name and address. Mayor?
Can I just respond to some of that or no?
We'll save it for the time being. The question and answer period thing, so. Seeing that, public hearing is now closed. We'll be moving on to the Common Council meeting. You guys ready? Call to order the Common Council meeting. Ed, roll call, please.
Councilmember Williams?
Here.
Councilmember Bamanto?
Here.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Here.
Councilmember Shikawa?
Here.
Councilmember at-large Wilson?
Present. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this moment in time, I have been asked to relinquish the floor to Chief Ortolano.
I respectfully request everyone stand in a moment of silence. Memory of retired Death Sergeant Frank Rosen passed away June 16th. He served the city for 31 years. Thank you.
Certification of prior meetings.
This is to certify that an official copy of the minutes of the Common Council meeting of Tuesday, June 6, 2017 was presented to the mayor on Thursday, June 14, 2017. Pursuant to Section 3.03 of the Dunkirk City Charter, all items presented to the mayor are now in full force and effect. In witness whereof, I have hereto set my hand and the seal of the city of Dunkirk, New York, to this 20th day of June, 2017.
Need a motion dispensing with the reading of the minutes. First by Councilman Gonzalez, second by Councilman Williams. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Williams?
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto?
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Aye.
Councilmember Shikawa?
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Wilson?
Aye. At this moment in time, you want to go
I
ahead?
make a motion to go into executive session to discuss more than one matter. We'll be calling people in and out, so please be patient with us. We have a lot to discuss. It is expected that no new business take place. During that, we will come back out and continue on with our meeting.
Do I have a second for the executive session? Councilman Bamanto with the second for the executive session. Clerk, call the roll on the executive session.
Councilmember Williams?
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto?
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Aye.
Councilmember Shikawa?
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Wilson?
Aye. Yeah. Yeah. No.
taking all my camera. So what was that? Those houses on Washington Avenue, do they get easements or anything to park in the front of their lawn? Support blacktop up there?
Somewhere.
buttons don't work, but it's got a sign here that says push button. I'm at the edge of the sidewalk, and that's how far you can see down the road. And then here's a button that or a sign that tells you to press the button in order for the sign to work. Well, the button is either above or below, but it doesn't work. And then that's how far into the road you have to be. You can actually see a little bit. Yeah. And then yes, yeah, you need to. That's the fence for the through. And then here we are at one part of the Green Street. You can see it's almost straight across from that pinnacle thing. So if you're actually on the north side of Green Street, you either have to be diagonal or you go straight across and it's really no crosswalk. And then there's the dimple crosswalk over there. There's really nothing.
So as soon as they went into executive session, I ran up there and said, Michelle,
And then there's and then almost a little bit up the road, almost across the street, in front of the fairgrounds, there's swim break that it's about that deep. And then you can see the bricks down at the bottom. And then, well, it's like in the middle of the fairgrounds. In the middle of the fairgrounds. But at near the edge of the fairgrounds on the east side, it's only that much pavement, and then you've got bricks. So it's almost like the road is the underlayer is like diagonal.
Excuse me now.
I love that. If you don't hear me complain about it, let me read a lot of facts. I know. There was one night
You might think that was gas. I think he said that the
That's really. You've got the.
when they're done, they can be nice. Because I looked into doing that. Something here. Makes them stupid enough to hear that.
Well, I heard that idea when I was still around, but said like if you went into a roundabout down there, a walk.
I mean, I've been looking at doing that as kind of a sideline business for 20 years. It's, it's going to fit my But I mean, I've tried to talk stores and because I was in Vegas, they have the widescreen TVs to the sideways and they use that as their menus out for, well, that's a whole idea. That's a good business.
Right.
And so that's why.
talk about the firefighters. That's not the only reason why, but they're also gonna talk about the negotiations with the.
like the hand. Yeah.
Talk about this, we're gonna talk about firefighters need to take off exercise. I certainly hope not. But at least it's true that they specifically said they were
I got a question for you. When do you upload this, the council meeting to YouTube? It's going live on YouTube right now. Oh, is it? It'll be there on YouTube.
So I can't watch it right now.
Yeah, sometimes it'll take like a little bit of process, maybe I say 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's live right now on YouTube. Yeah, maybe around 8 o'clock it'll be ready. Oh.
So I can, when I can't sleep tonight, I'll watch this.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, and then I'll be shooting an email for emails in the middle of the night.
Exactly. My landlord said, if you don't want to pay it, then I can. Yeah. Yeah, well, and that's what I said. I did sign a lease, but now it's.
Which would not be there for Saturday.
as far as, I mean, I don't think anything's gonna get done with the city. It's gonna be the fact that we're gonna have to I need to start moving those meetings to see if he actually does something. Well, the start from getting rid of whatever he wants. No, he'll want most of it. And
I need a motion to come out of executive session. Councilwoman Chikawa with the first, Councilman Williams with the second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Williams?
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto?
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Aye.
Councilmember Chikawa?
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Voisin?
Aye. We are now out of executive session and back to the regular meeting. We will start right where we left off, which was number 3, reading of the privilege of the floor regulations.
The privilege of the floor shall be extended to any person appearing for themselves, in which case the individual shall be limited to 3 minutes, and to any person representing a group who shall be limited to 5 minutes. Sorry. When recognized, please stand and state your name and address. The city clerk shall have the duty of maintaining such time limits, and the councilman at large may determine in his discretion whether individuals are speaking for themselves or representing groups. Councilman at large voice shall maintain good order and may require any speaker to cease speaking if remarks are made in bad taste or are slanderous or non-germane to any action taken or contemplated by council. The time limit specified above shall be strictly adhered to, except that a speaker may be allowed to complete a statement or thought started before such time has expired.
Privilege of the floor is now open. Anybody wishing to speak, please step forward to the microphone and state your name and address.
My name is Natalie Luchskowiak from Dunkirk, New York. Shall I proceed?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I arrive here today to ask for your assistance in finding out the truth of the current status of the Adams Art Gallery. Let me give you a concise timeline of facts. Since 2009, I have been a board member of the Access to the Arts, of which the Adams Art Gallery is a part of, sort of under its umbrella. 2 years ago, I became the secretary, with Chris Schaefer being the president. 1 year ago, Chris spoke with Matt Bromberg and Paul Salzler, who became interested in taking over the Access to the Arts. Chris invited them to a meeting to make this happen with a CC email to me. They never responded. In this email, Chris let them know I was still interested in being on the board. We again have reached out to them this spring, and we received one response stating they have created a new board. Thereafter, Chris had forwarded an email which included a CC to the mayor stating we had a board meeting turning over this non-for-profit a year ago. This never happened, and of course there is no proof. In this day and age, one cannot lie about such things. I have reached out to Matt and Paul, again letting them know I wish to remain on the board, with no response. I have all emails pertaining to what I have just mentioned if you wish me to bring them or forward them to you. In the meantime, is there insurance? If they are inside working and someone gets hurt, I could be technically sued. And as you can see, driving past from the outside looking in, there has not been any movement on the taking care of the property. My key no longer works. It did work last summer. I have reached out to the city attorney per Mayor Rosas' advice to no avail. I will not stand for these lies and games, and neither should you. The gallery stands on one of Dunkirk's focal corners. There is a group of us citizens that can do so much more than what is currently happening, which is nothing.
Thank you, Natalie.
You're welcome.
What's that?
That's all.
Yep.
Okay.
Anybody else wishing to speak, please step forward and state your name and address.
Hi, I'm Skeeter Tower at Swan Street, 438 Swan Street, but I'm asking for some guidance related to parking problems in some of the neighborhoods. My own neighborhood, there are 2 of my neighbors who are planning to move because they can no longer find close by street parking, and in these older neighborhoods there aren't adequate driveways or garages, places to put your car. The other neighborhood that I've been concerned with is we want a grant for the Neighborhood Pride Challenge over on the 600 block of Main Street. There are 68 living units on that block. There are only 14 parking spots on one side of the street and 16 on the other. So you can imagine how frustrated people get when they can't find a parking spot, or they're parking bumper to bumper with someone and they're calling the police frequently to come and give a ticket to someone. They're parking in front of hydrants, they're parking too close to the driveways so the people that do have driveways can't get in and out. I'm not sure what the solution is, but I'm bringing it to your attention as a problem that needs to be addressed somehow. We were hoping there might be an empty lot nearby that could be approved for resident parking, but that's not my my job to do that. I'm just bringing it to your attention and hope that we can find a solution. I'm afraid there's going to be some act of violence going on, and with neighbors kind of squabbling over spots.
Thank you, Ms. Tower. Anything you'd like to add, Chief? No?
On-street parking is public parking, you can't regulate it with multiple vehicles. I don't know what the answer is other than landlords trying to provide a driveway.
Okay, thank you, Chief. Anybody else wishing to speak? Privilege of the floor. Please step forward and state your name and address.
I'm Mike Civiletto, 138 Ruggles Street. I'll be representing the Community Advisory Committee. One of the things that we were worried about, we've been concentrating on lately in the last couple of meetings, is public safety, especially pedestrians. And one of the spots that we have had a lot of concern about is the Millard Fillmore and Central Avenues intersection. It's an intersection that's going to be used very highly when the Chautauqua County Fair comes around. It's going to be the intersection that basically represents Dunkirk to the entire county when we get thousands of people coming into the city during the Fair Week. The intersection is dangerous. The buttons for one of the crosswalks does nothing. One of the crosswalk buttons actually does allow you to cross the street from the Millard Fillmore side across Central, and at the same time it has a green light for cars to turn and allow it to hit you as you're crossing across the street. That intersection is very weird. I know that there's a couple different municipalities that are in charge of it. It's right on the line of the state owns is in charge of clearing brush on Millard Fillmore where the thruway is, which is overgrowing to the point where you can't see down Millard Fillmore if you're trying to go from where the City of Dunkirk sign is over towards the plaza. You can't see what's coming because it's overgrown so badly. And it's just, I don't know if it's council's responsibility, if it's the mayor, if the attorney, our city department, to contact the other municipalities, whether it's the state or the county, to ask them to clear the brushes, to fix their crosswalk buttons, to do these things so when people come into Dunkirk, they're safe. So that's something that I'd like to put out there. I don't know what the answer is. I mean, if it gets to the point where, if you've ever been there during Fair Week, you see people running across the road, and also with baby buggies and everything else, because they don't know when they can cross and when they can't, and it's a very, highly traveled section. And maybe the answer is, and I don't know if the city would be willing to put a police officer there, or if the county would be willing to put a sheriff there during Fair Week to direct traffic, to allow pedestrians to get across safely, so it doesn't look like we're putting our citizens in danger. That's the biggest thing. Also, the condos that are going up on Otter. I have a concern about the lack of sidewalks. I believe that the condos that and I don't know if they've been approved yet by the council or not. If the reason that those are going there is so people can walk to work to Phoenix, they're going to be walking in the middle of the street because there are no sidewalks. I drove down Otter a couple times, almost hit a couple people who were walking their dogs or walking because they're walking in the middle of the street and they're so used to not having traffic down there that they don't pay attention, and you get right up on them and you have to beat the horn because they're walking in the middle of the street, and they don't see you there. They're not used to there being traffic, and once condos get there, there's going to be a lot of traffic. I don't know if we can put into the resolution that okays the condos that either the condos or the developer or the Phoenix is responsible for building sidewalks, or there's something called the sidewalk, sorry, maybe the city can charge the people on those streets, on Otter and those streets, to actually put sidewalks on their streets. So I think that's all that I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Anybody else wishing to speak, please step forward, state your name and address. Anybody else wishing to speak, please step forward, state your name and address. Last opportunity. Anybody else wishing to speak, please step forward, state your name and address. Seeing none, privilege of the floor is now closed. Number 5, communications from the mayor, including disapproval messages. Mayor, the floor is yours.
Just have a couple announcements. The first one is I'm pleased to announce through my travels to Albany to meet with state elected officials, we're scheduling a visit here from a representative from the New York State Comptroller's office. He's going to be here to help people out searching for funds that are owed to them. This comes as a result of the fact that there's $1.7 million out there. These are funds that are owed to residents of the 14048 zip code. So I've asked for him to come in. He's going to be coming into the mayor's conference room on July 28th. He'll be here from 10 in the morning to 2 p.m. And I'm inviting everyone to come in. There could be funds owed to either yourselves or a family member. You'll never know.
What date is that again?
Friday, July 28th, from 10 in the morning to 2 p.m. Representative from the Comptroller's office. I'd also like to announce that next Monday, the 26th, the Development Department and myself will be heading to Buffalo at 4 p.m. to provide a PowerPoint presentation regarding the downtown revitalization initiative and the $10 million grant. And I'd like for our development director to expand on that a little bit.
Yeah, we will be presenting to Empire State Development. We have been invited to go out there. This past week we submitted a grant application. This is a downtown revitalization initiative that Governor Cuomo has put in place for communities to put in applications for a $10 million grant for your downtown. Last year Jamestown won, and this year is round 2, so we're going for this funding again. And it's great that they've invited us to come out and present this plan. So we'll be making that journey Monday, and fingers crossed that we will be getting the 10 million. And in addition, even if you put in an application, there is smart growth funding that will fund projects within your grant application. So we obviously want the 10 million, but we will be getting something out of this even if we don't get the 10 million. So that's a positive thing for our downtown community.
Thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Mayor. Number 6, communications from the public and petitions.
Request from Chautauqua Area Regional Transit Systems, CARTS, to use the Senior Center on July 21st, 2017 to hold an open house in celebration of their 40th anniversary as Chautauqua County's public transportation carrier.
Any discussion? Seeing none, I need a motion to refer to the appropriate departments as well as approve, subject to appropriate insurances and usual conditions. First, Councilman Williams. Second, Councilman Bamonto. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Williams.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Aye.
Councilmember Shikawa.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Wilson.
Aye.
Number 2, request from the Dunkirk the request from the Dunkirk School District for 2 police officers for supervision of their high school home football games from 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. on September 15th, September 22nd, and October 6th, 2017, and 3 police officers for supervision of the October 13th, 2017 game versus Fredonia, as also requesting 2 police officers for supervision of 2 of the high school home basketball games from 6 to 9 p.m. on December 22nd, 2017, and January 26th, 2018.
Any discussion, council? Seeing none, I need a motion to refer this to the Dunkirk Police Department and Police Union. Councilman Gonzalez with the first, Councilman Bamanto with the second. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Williams?
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto?
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Aye.
Councilmember Shikawa?
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Wilson.
Aye.
Number 3, loudspeaker application from Henry Hooten Sr. to have a band on July 3rd, 2017 at 212 Webster Street from 7 to 9 p.m.
Any discussion, council? Seeing none, I need a motion to refer to the appropriate departments as well as approve subject to appropriate insurances and usual conditions. Councilman Bamanto with the first, Councilman Williams with the second. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Williams?
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto?
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Aye.
Councilmember Shikawa?
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Wilson.
Aye.
Number 4, notice of claim from Andrew Chimura alleging damages to his vehicle due to a pothole while driving near 238 Willow Road.
Need a motion to refer this to the law department. Councilwoman Shikawa with the first, Councilman Williams with the second. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Williams?
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto?
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Aye.
Councilmember Shikawa?
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Wilson.
Aye.
Number 5, summons and verified complaint from Kimberly J. Kane for personal injuries allegedly sustained as a result of a fall on May 31st, 2016 in front of 328 Central Avenue.
Need a motion to refer this to the law department. Councilwoman Shikawa with the first, Councilman Williams with the second. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Williams?
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto?
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Aye.
Councilmember Shikawa?
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Wilson.
Aye. Reports of standing committees, boards, and commissions. Councilman Williams, the floor is yours.
Again, next Tuesday at 4 o'clock in the mayor's conference room, we're gonna have our DPW committee meeting. Everybody's welcome to attend. The only other thing I have is, I noticed, Hector, when you guys are doing the festivals, you do a lot of work back and forth with those gators. Is there any way, does anybody know, Bob, do we have any pickup or something that they could use to move back and forth instead at the beginning and at the end? Because it seems like they take a lot of trips, and if they could do it a little bit quicker, less running, more efficient, if they had a pickup that they could use, if there's one available.
There is one available, right, for the rest of the, concert series for the summer that, they are able to utilize the pickup truck at the wastewater treatment facility. And they, have to follow the, proper procedures of signing it out and doing the inspections and so on and so forth, but then they return it back to the wastewater treatment facility either that evening or the first thing the next morning.
And what I plan on doing is I'll just assign someone to have that vehicle here at a certain time and then to have it picked up.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman Williams. Councilman Bamanto.
I just have one announcement. There'll be a personnel committee meeting July 5th, 9:30 a.m. in the mayor's conference room, 9:30 a.m.
Wow. Thank you, Councilman Bamanto. Councilman Gonzalez.
We had the economic development meeting this afternoon, in which we discussed the Floramo plan and how we're moving forward with that. We had a lot of community participation at this meeting, and we will continue to have more participation in that. There is a survey that's going to be conducted and paid for by funds. If Rebecca can speak to that, please, in regards to the Floramo.
Yeah, the Floramo plan is a great plan that was established and would be great to have put into law. There are some pieces that we need to flush out, and the city won a grant for a residential community survey, the zombie property survey that we've been referring to. We do have consultants that we will be hiring if the resolution passes tonight, that have worked with a lot of different communities all across New York State, including Jamestown and Buffalo, that have worked on plans very similar to Floramo that make it work for their community in regards to absentee landlords and the issues that we face. So our recommendations is to work with the consultants once we hire them to help us establish a plan that we can put into place and that is advantageous for everyone and can work in the city and help with our absentee landlord issue that we're having, and to help the zoning department as well as planning and development for the future.
Thank you. We've also discussed about the downtown revitalization initiative and the dog park, which will be passing resolution later. And we also spoke about the hotel development, which will be conducting something today. So it was a well-attended meeting. I ask you to please participate in the economic meetings. If you have questions in regards to any of the topics that we spoke today, please address it to our website or to the development department to answer your questions so that it can be on record in regards to what we need to be doing as far as the Floramo plan and any other activity that we're having within the city. I also like to say in regards to Mr. Civiletto's question in regards to the brush up there by the plaza there, I think that's our responsibility. I don't know why it's not being done. It has been done by us before.
The brush that he's in reference to is would be on the north side of the fence, which is on the thruway property, and it's growing through the fence itself.
On the incline? Is that the incline in the thruway? Is that what is that what you? Was that what you?
Yeah, right in front of the city sign. When you come down Central toward north on your right-hand side.
Okay, so then you have to call the Troy authority to take care of that, right?
I'll make an attempt to reach out to them tomorrow.
Appreciate it, thank you. So that's all that I have for right now.
Thank you, Councilman Gonzalez. Councilwoman Shikawa?
Mark, can you give us an update on when we're gonna be able to move forward with the KBS system in your office?
It's right now in the works. We don't at this time have a definite time frame. But we're
The reason why we keep asking is because it's important to be able to, you know, if you were to take vacation or something were to happen to you, somebody be able to come in and take care of those books electronically would be much easier. You know, if you want to take a vacation or things like that, I mean, it's a lot of pressure on you to be able to not be able to take a day off or a vacation. So
the other staff in the office is familiar with, you know, the procedures they need to follow. So that, you know, right now is not any concern.
okay. Al, I gave you a list about a month ago of several properties.
Yes.
I received the email from you that you gave me back.
Yes.
It was a generic report. I did send you an email back. I would like what I handed you, Main Street, King Street, Doty, Ward. I would like an update next to each one of these.
All right, I'll try and get to that. I've got some other pending projects at the moment, especially those demolitions at the moment, which we're going to be doing here right after July 4th.
Either have Wendy or your secretary take care of that?
Yeah. We're in the midst of the heavy season here. We've got the zoning issues coming up, zoning meeting coming up, but we'll get to it. I'll have to put that in Excel or something.
Thank you. And Bob, I got a call from a resident who just moved into the city. She moved into 133 Franklin, and she was very excited to move in last week, but she's requesting that a couple of the low branches on the tree out in front of her house be trimmed. Is that something that we can possibly put on the list? The tree is fine, it's just hanging really low.
We haven't really had the tree truck out in well over a month, just because we've been dealing with potholes and stuff like that, but I'll make a note of it once we get back out again.
I'd appreciate that, thank you.
133 Franklin.
133 Franklin. Thank you, that's all I have.
Thank you, Councilwoman Shikawa. All I have is a Finance Committee meeting Thursday at 4 o'clock. It's Thursday the 22nd. Number 8, unfinished business.
32, intro number 3 to local law number 3-2017, City of Dunkirk, New York, a local law to amend Chapter 49, Section 49-4C of the Dunkirk City Code.
Need a motion to take this off the table?
So moved.
Councilman Gonzalez with the first. Councilman Williams with the second. Clerk, call the roll on taking it off the table.
Councilmember Williams?
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto?
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Aye.
Councilmember Shikawa?
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Volusia?
Aye. Any discussion on the law as presented? Councilman Williams?
Just like I asked in the workshop, maybe Chief Ortolano might be able to explain why we're going through this.
Last year, there were some disruptive issues at some of the softball games. At the last Public Safety Committee meeting, Councilman Milano has brought up some issues that he had to try and make it a safer environment on the field, in the dugouts and on the field. There was alcohol being consumed that was leading to some disruptive behavior. We wanted to figure out what we could do to address that. I put a request into the city attorney that the city code allows alcohol in the area of Tom Schenkel Stadium as well as Cook Field during the game. But we just wanted to pare it down to say we did not want alcohol on the playing field during the dugout while the games are going on, so that would not lead to any fights or disruptive behavior, to kind of keep it a nice atmosphere. The alcohol is allowed around the other areas of the stadium during the games, but not in the dugout and not on the ball field. I think that's a good idea. So we have this law changed tonight.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Williams?
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto?
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Aye.
Councilmember Shikawa?
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Volusia?
Aye.
39, intro number 4 to local law number 4-2017, City of Dunkirk, New York, a local law to amend Article 7, Section 7.00 of the Dunkirk City Charter.
Need a motion to take this off the table?
So moved.
Councilman Gonzalez with the first. Councilman Bamanto with the second. Clerk, call the roll on taking this off the table.
Councilmember Williams?
No.
Councilmember Bamanto?
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Aye.
Councilmember Shikawa?
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Volusia?
Aye. Any discussion? Councilwoman Shikawa?
Mayor, I asked you some questions during the workshop for the sake of the public again, at home and as well as the record reflecting my questions. You did say this was the first step of many that you'll be taking to restructure, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So you'll be meeting with the unions and you'll be making sure that we're following civil service laws with the attorney?
Absolutely. This restructuring, again, is something that is very much needed here. Our city taxpayers and our city residents deserve to get the most bang for their buck, and this is what we intend to do. I believe that all the workers, generally speaking, all staff and employees will be very happy with the changes that we're bringing. And just as importantly, the city residents will be very satisfied with what these changes are going to bring. And we will be in compliance with all municipal laws, as well as compliance of the union contracts and the city charter.
So as of tomorrow morning, we're still running business as usual. You will not be making any changes right away until you meet with folks along the way, correct?
That's correct. Again, the restructuring is something that has taken a little bit of time, and this resolution, again, is basically one step towards that direction. The changes that are going to happen are not major changes, they're subtle changes, but very important changes.
So if there's anybody that's changing roles what they are now, will there be a reduction in their pay? Or will they be receiving the same benefits and pay that they have now?
They will most likely be receiving the same pay as well as the same benefit package. That is not something that I can guarantee, simply because we have identified a couple positions that we feel are no longer needed, and if we proceed in that direction, they will be offered a different position. And so, again, everything has to be in compliance with the union contracts.
And just for everybody's sake, so they understand where we're coming from, or myself particularly, there's been several times throughout your term so far, and even the previous mayor, where workers specifically have been asked to do a job, and the answer back to that was, that is not in my job description. Is that a correct assumption of why you're trying to do this?
Well, there's a combination of factors involved as to why this restructuring needs to happen. However, to answer your question, I believe in the past that has happened. I've had an incident since I've taken office. I've been the mayor now here for almost a year and a half. And there came a point where we did have a snowstorm, and during that time there was a traveler's ban in effect. And one particular employee was asked to help out and do a little bit of work, and stated that that was not part of his job description. So yes.
So your reasoning for doing this is making it more of a municipal worker joint effort in DPW?
Well, the purpose again of this is to make sure that everybody that is employed by the city is here to do some work of some sort. We have positions that were established back when we had 12 to 15 individuals working in a certain department. That is not the case any longer. Some of these departments are down to 2 workers, and yet we still have a supervisor there who cannot do any manual labor according to contract. And so his only job is to do schedules and assignments for 2 people. Some of these individuals are costing city taxpayers close to $90,000 a year. In my opinion, that is not very effective, and so we need to change that. I believe that what we pay these individuals is more than appropriate, but I think that they need to give us back some work. And that's all we're asking for. I don't think that this change is going to be a negative thing. I don't think it'll have a negative impact. In fact, I believe that the individual involved will be happier.
Lastly, I'll just say that if this does pass tonight, if things do not work out the way they intend to, you're fully aware that that's a mess that you'll have to clean up, correct?
I've been cleaning up a major mess since I took office, and I plan to continue for at least 1 term.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Councilwoman Shikawa. Councilmember Monto?
Mayor, is there going to be any job losses involved in this?
That is not the intent of this restructuring. Again, the restructuring is meant to make us function in a more effective manner. The way we're currently functioning is not effective anymore. So to answer your question, no, the intent is that there will not be any job loss. However, the individuals involved here with these positions will be afforded an opportunity to move into another position making the same salary with the same benefits. If they chose not to, this may result in a job loss.
That was my main concern going in executive session. Was anybody going to lose their job? Like some people said out here, that's a possibility, or they thought they were. And by talking to the mayor and the attorney, I was comfortable with their answer. Nobody's going to lose their job.
Okay. Thank you, Councilmember Monto. Councilman Williams?
If this passes, how are you planning on meeting with everybody? Is it going to be through some sort of labor management forum? Are you going to meet with them, individual unions? How are we going to be looking at this? And is it going to be something that it's going to be a top-down decision, or is it going to be a negotiable type of decision on the part of the workers?
I'm not sure what you mean by negotiable decision.
Well, you'd have to negotiate any negative impact that you'd have on it, so I just wonder how you'd be going through that.
I see. So what would happen if this were to pass again? there's going to be some meetings. Again, you council members will be fully involved as you have been throughout this process. The individuals involved will obviously be meeting with the director as well as myself. If need be, the union reps as well as our attorney, and we will move forward in that direction. Again, I am looking for a peaceful solution to making us work more efficiently. And I believe that if the union member is looking to accomplish the same thing, then we're going to be successful. But at this point, I can tell you, Councilman, that my intent is to work with the union and with the individual employee to ensure that they are content. If, again, they decide that they do not want to take the job that is offered, then that's another process, and there is a procedure in place for that process.
The other thing, there was a lot of good points brought up at the public hearing section today, and I do believe that a little bit more time could be taken to ask questions and get more information. Therefore, this resolution and the next one, I will be voting no, because I feel that we could get more information. That's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman Williams. Any further discussion? Seeing none, clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Williams.
No.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Aye.
Councilmember Shikawa.
Aye.
Councilmember at large Wishet.
Aye.
40, intro number 5 to local law number 5-2017, City of Dunkirk, New York, a local law to amend Chapter 2, Article 7, Sections 2-7.02, 2-7.04, 2-7.05, 2-7.07, and 2-7.09 of the City of Dunkirk City Code.
I need a motion to take this off the table.
So moved.
Councilman Gonzalez with the first. Councilman Bamanto with the second. Clerk call the roll on taking it off the table.
Councilmember Williams.
No.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Aye.
Councilmember Shikawa.
Aye.
Councilmember at large Wishet.
Motion passes. Aye. Any discussion on the local law change? No discussion? Oh, I'm sorry. Councilman Gonzalez?
All these resolutions that we're working on right now is just to make the city work more efficient with the mayor. As he stated before, this is all to save the taxpayers more money. It is also to be able to work with each department in a more amicable way than we have been working in the past. These resolutions that are on the table they've been on the paper for more than 34 years, and things have not changed. It's about time that things change in the city. We're not working with 20,000 people like we did, 40, 50 years ago. Our populations had diminished. We have to find every way that we can to try to save the city some money and try to have the employees work in a more efficient way. It's the only thing we're trying to do here. I am pro-labor, but I also represent the city. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Gonzalez. Any further discussion? Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Williams.
No.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Aye.
Councilmember Shikawa.
Aye.
Councilmember at large Wishet.
Aye.
Number 48, creating a position of Spanish-speaking firefighter.
Need a motion to take this off the table? Seeing no motion, it'll sit on the table. Number 9, pre-filed resolutions.
Reschedule the council meeting
There
to
is-
Tuesday, July 11th, 2017.
Okay, thank you. I was just going to say there's a typo in it. Instead of Monday, July 3rd, it's supposed to say Tuesday, July 11th. Any further discussion? Clerk, call the roll on Tuesday, July 11th.
Councilmember Williams.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Aye.
Councilmember Shikawa.
Aye.
Councilmember at large Wishet.
Aye.
Authorizing mayor to execute ground lease with Erie Land Development LLC for hotel.
Any discussion? Councilman Williams?
Just again, just wanting to check with the city attorney. There is no need to table this and have a public hearing and all on it? Okay.
Thank you, Councilman Williams. Councilwoman Shikawa?
Yes, two things, Mayor, City Attorney. There was two things that I requested, one of them being that when they start moving forward, that they have a public presentation and invite the public in to see drawings and their schematics and all that stuff and ask questions along the way. I think that's very important for the public to have that knowledge before it's actually built. And the second one is learning from experience from the last land lease that we had down there. We need to make sure that within the contract that the mayor signs that there's specific guidelines as timing of when things will be built. It's not saying that we're going to hold them to the exact date. We can negotiate a little bit back and forth, but we need to have a timeline of when things will be built, so we're not sitting with an empty lot again.
Mayor?
So just to respond again, that these developers are here today. If you'd like to hear from them, they're more than happy to answer questions from you.
Council, do any of you wish to have the developer speak?
No, as long as we know that those are things that are very important to us, I trust that that'll be taken care of.
Thank you. Thank you for the offer, Mayor. All set? Thank you, Councilwoman Shikawa. Any other further discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Williams?
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto?
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Aye.
Councilmember Shikawa?
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Volusia.
Aye.
Resolution authorizing grant application NYSOPRHP.
Couldn't finish it? No? Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Williams?
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto?
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Aye.
Councilmember Shikawa?
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Volusia.
Aye.
Resolution authorizing grant application to fund economic impact analysis of North County harbors.
Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Williams?
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto?
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Aye.
Councilmember Shikawa?
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Volusia.
Aye.
Resolution authorizing grant application, New York DEC Water Quality Improvement Project Fund Grants Program.
Any discussion? Councilman Gonzalez?
I'd just like to say that all these resolutions pertain to the meeting that we had, the Economic Development meeting today, addressing all the grants that the Economic Development Department is applying for and hoping to attain. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Gonzalez. Any further discussion? Councilman Williams?
I saw the city engineer had something to say, so I figured I'd refer my time to him.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Speak just to a couple of these coming up because they're very positive and progressive initiatives. The grant application is going to fund rain gardens in Point Gratiot, which will greatly improve the water quality. This is a picture of what the ditch along Oak Street will turn into. It'll be a garden where the water's directed. It won't be the ugly looking ditch that's there now, and the water quality will be better. So the Mayor Roses has asked DPW to interface with development with the strongest relationship I think we've ever had in the city. And with that collaboration, we've been able to get a grant, $75,000 that DPW applied for. Development's helped do it. Now that we have a plan, we're going after the money to build this. And it won't cost the city anything because we have to supply the material, and we can use beach material to help make this garden. So I just wanted to say it's a very positive water quality issue, and certainly 3 miles of waterfront in the city of Dunkirk is something we're very proud of. So just thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Woodbury. Any further discussion, council? Seeing none, clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Williams?
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto?
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Aye.
Councilmember Shikawa?
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Volusia.
Aye.
Resolution authorizing grant application NYSOCR Main Street Program.
Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Williams.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Aye.
Councilmember Shikawa.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Volusia.
Aye.
Grant application Resolution authorizing grant application Market New York program.
Any discussion? Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Williams?
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto?
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Aye.
Councilmember Shikawa? Councilmember at-large Wilson.
Aye.
Resolution authorizing lease agreement with Robert Jasmine.
There is a typo on the resolution itself that we have on paper, but the clerk said it correctly. Instead of Bob Salerno, it's supposed to read Robert Jasmine, Jeysman. Any further discussion? Councilman Williams?
Yeah, just wondering, this is gonna put extra time in for the maintenance of the park. Who is covering the cost of that?
The maintenance of the park,
Yes.
you're talking about who's going to be responsible?
Who's gonna
for-
maintain it, yes.
Yeah. That's going to be the city. The answer to your question is the city.
Okay.
We're looking at mowing that lawn, pretty much.
Is the dog park group that was formed before, are they going to be doing anything to raise money to help offset that? Like, in the past, they've asked, Beautified Dunkirk project, Revitalized Dunkirk beautification project. We've asked them to supply money for watering plants. Are we gonna be asking for any money to help mow lawns and fix stuff over there?
No. The answer to your question is no.
Then I would guess that we shouldn't be asking that of the Revitalized Dunkirk group then anymore.
Rebecca wants to address that.
And
Okay.
I can also speak to that. There will be a $5 fee for registering your dog to make sure you're registered. And in addition, most dog parks over time that are utilized quite a bit, after a while, the grass doesn't really necessarily grow up that much anymore, and it won't be as big of a maintenance issue. And myself and Bob, we've talked, and it would be added to the list of mowing, but eventually down the line, it shouldn't be that big of a maintenance cost to the city at all.
That answers that.
Any further discussion? Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Williams?
No.
Councilmember Bamanto?
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Aye.
Councilmember Shikawa?
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Wilson.
Aye.
Resolution authorizing agreement for consultant services for City of Dunkirk residential housing service.
Any discussion? Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Williams.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Aye.
Councilmember Shikawa.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Wilson.
Aye.
Resolution accepting contract for backwash, water storage tank, and pump replacement Phase 3 under 2009 consent order.
Any discussion? Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Williams.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Aye.
Councilmember Shikawa.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Wilson.
Aye.
Resolution authorizing mayor to execute easement for NCWD.
Any discussion? Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Williams.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Aye.
Councilmember Shikawa.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Wilson.
Aye. Motion to adjourn. Councilwoman Shikawa with the first, Councilman Gonzalez with the second. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Williams.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Aye.
Councilmember Shikawa.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Wilson.
Aye. Meeting adjourned.
It wasn't the smoothest meeting, but we got through it.